They told me for years there was no money in podcasting. Well, they were all wrong.
Nakia.
Yes.
So did you know Nakia and I interviewed together?
No, tell me.
Okay, so I want to hear your interview story. I want to know who interviewed you too. But when I interviewed, first off, it was a phone interview with Neil.
Oh my god.
And after that, he shot me an email like with a group of us saying like I was BCC'd. It's like, we want to bring you in for like an in-person interview. Like, what are your availability? Can you come in like Monday? It's like, yeah, I'll be in Monday. I'll skip class, of course. So it was like a Monday evening. And then he emails us again. He's like, hey pal, change of plans. Like we want to bring all the interview candidates in, like to meet the whole group, and we'll pull you aside one by one to do your one-on-one interviews. I was like, all right, cool. We'll do it on Tuesday. Better. Don't just skip class. So I go in. I'm in my nice suit. Like, I wrote up. I have to see if I can find this. I'll send it to you. I wrote up, like, with my resume, like a 2-page character cover letter saying like, why I want to work here, why I deserve to work here, my qualifications, like what I bring to the table, like literally like headings in like bullet points and like paragraph lists of like who I am. I totally forgot I did this. So I wrote all that shit out, and I bought extra copies for whoever wanted one. I bought like 7 or 10 copies of it.
I love it.
And I had it in like a leather like portfolio folder, so it was like all nice and official. I go in, and they have us all in that main boardroom. You know that main boardroom behind the front desk?
Yes.
So we're all in. Well, first off, he brings us in there to say like, okay. No, he brings all the candidates over to the side one, the one in the corner, by the elephant statue, whatever Karam had in there.
Yeah.
So in that corner office, and there's a guy from Philly there. There's another guy. I'm talking to them, and then there's Nakia. Like the other guys are relatively my age, maybe a few years older. And there's Nakia, who at the time was like her late 30s. I'm just like, what is this woman doing here? Right? And it's like really shy. She's like the only one I didn't talk to that whole night. And Neil comes in. He goes, okay, gang. We're gonna bring you all into the other room, and we're just gonna introduce you to everybody. I was like, okay, cool. I go in. Karam's there, Tamara's there, Lucy's there, Tim's there, like David's there, like the whole like Timeless and Karma were there.
Was Angela there?
No, Angela didn't start working there yet.
Okay.
And Neil has us go around like introduce yourself, fun fact, etc., and he goes, oh yeah, by the way, pal, like by the way, gang, behind you there's wine, there's beer, help yourself. I'm just like, all right. I'm like one of the first cans to get up. I'm like, all right, okay. I had to start like popped it open, had a few sips, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, this is great. I was so comfortable, and pretty much Neil was just like, all right, everyone just kind of get up, just meet and greet, just talk to everybody. I talked to everybody. I talked to literally everybody. I'm gonna tell the story so many different times when I speak with Tamara, Nakia, and hopefully Neil if I can get him. Just about what his experience was like. But I talked to fucking everybody. Cynthia, I asked Neil, I was like Neil, like when are we gonna have our one-on-one interview? He's like, well, don't worry, we'll do it later. And he's like, don't worry about it, just keep mingling. And I remember this one guy from Philly, he left early. He had to like go catch a train or something. I was like, this guy's not getting a job.
Oh my god. Early.
So like after that, like Neil's like, all right guys, we're gonna get in the other room. And then like before he said that, I went up to Karam. And I was like, oh, so you're like the owner, right? And he's like, I'm Will Tarashuk. I just wanted to say hi and introduce myself. And then he put us all into the other room. It's like me, Nakia, this other guy, I think this one other guy. And he goes, all right, guys, like, congratulations. That was your interview. And I was just like, the fuck? Excuse the fuck out of me, what? So, and he goes, any questions? Me, I got a question. Now, he was like, all right, everyone, I just want to ask you this, thing privately, whatever. Everyone else leaves the room. And I go to Neil. I'm like, Neil, like, talking to other people, like, my one thing, I was like, first off, I had this whole thing set up. I gave him, like, my resume and, like, my little color thing I wrote. So I had this whole presentation. I was ready to go. He's just like, yeah, I was like, just show it to everyone who wants it. So I gave him all the copies. Like, yeah, thanks, Will. And I go, my one concern is that, this guy from Philly, he had production experience. Like, all these other people have experience. My main thing I want to make clear was, like, listen, I don't want to be the fact that I'm fresh out of college to hurt me. Like, I don't want that to be something that goes against me, because it's like, I don't think that's fair, essentially. And Neil just goes, well, Will, I can't get anything guaranteed, but I think after talking to everybody, you got nothing to worry about. And I was just like,
Okay.
can you have that in writing, please? All right, I go home, and that Friday I get the job offer. But, out of everyone there, Nakia was the only person I essentially didn't talk to, because I knew they had 2 job openings. And I remember my first day, I walk in, I see Nakia there. I'm like, oh, you're the one they hired. Congratulations. Like, she started a few weeks before me. And I sat down, and she goes, I'm so glad you're here. Like, in that Nakia voice, I'm so glad you're here. It's just like, you got so much work to take off my hands. And then we were just off to the races. Nakia was my first boss, and hands down, one of the most influential and important people in my entire life, Nakia Booth.
I would have to agree.
Dude, imagine that. That's your interview process. You would have shit yourself.
In what way?
If you were interviewed that way, I don't think you would have. I mean, you would have talked to everybody and done yourself, but like, if you found out after the fact that was the interview process, you would have been pacing up and down, back and forth. You would have been pacing on a train. Like, you had to step back to South Jersey. You wouldn't have slept on a train. You would have slept for 3 nights straight. You would have been just losing your minds.
I would have been losing my mind. You are 100%, because you know how I think.
Yeah. I shared an office with you. So tell me what your interview process, because yours was more normal. You had, how many rounds did you have?
I only had 2 interviews at Karma. So prior to Karma, and how I got even the interview, this is some vodka, by the way.
Love it. Oh, it's Hunter Mulford.
Hunter Mulford. I met Hunter Mulford at Fox News when we were interviewing for Fox News for the junior reporter program. And we made it to the last rounds together, and we did like it was a week internship, and then they would have selected 5 of us. And it would have been, one of the locations was Las Vegas, Georgia. I think there was one down in Florida, and so on and so forth. And I didn't get the job, but this one guy did, who I used to work at Casper, Wyoming. And his name was, what's his name? Ray Bogan. I'll never forget him. And I go, Ray Bogan, I can't get rid of you. And he ended up getting it. And then I still kept in touch with Hunter. And after that, I was, bartending, and I was working on the grounds crew at like 4 a.m. And I was, raking my, what's it called? The divots on the golf course at 4:30, 5 a.m. And, as the day goes on, I hear, my phone go off, and Hunter goes, hey, Chris, there's this job opening for a booking producer at this company called Karma. Are you interested? And I go, yeah, sure. So after my shift, I went home, showered up, and started just researching the company. I go, wow, I never really heard of this before, but let's do it. So I wound up interviewing with Hunter. And then right after I interviewed with Hunter, she goes, hey, Chris, you wind up coming in for an interview to meet me and Nakia. And I go, yeah, absolutely. And they go, can you come in tomorrow? And I go, I got a bartending shift. Can I come in the next day? She goes, yeah, sure, no problem. So I'm all excited for my job interview, and, I'm bartending, and I'm all giddy and everything. So, I'm making drinks for everyone, shoot the shit. And then I winded up slitting my hand open on glass.
Oh my God.
And I didn't have health insurance. So what happened was, and I go to my bartender, my boss, and I go, do you think I need stitches? He goes, Chris, you're bleeding pretty bad. I go, I have a job interview tomorrow.
See, that's what I mean. You're freaking out now just thinking about it.
And he goes, okay. He goes, don't worry, everything's fine. He goes, it happened on premises, so you're going to get workers' comp. And there was a hand surgeon at the bar that night. So he
Get
winded
out
up
of here.
So there it was nuts. So he winded up getting me through to the ER, and they sewed me up. And he goes, listen, I understand you don't have health insurance, so when it's time to heal, I'll take out your stitches. And I go, oh, thank God. I go, you are a gem. I bought him a bottle of wine when I went to his house. Great hand surgeon. So, how much that would have cost without insurance, just taking stitches out of your hand?
Dude, I don't even want to think about it. Don't even tell me, because
I don't even want to.
This system is disgusting.
It's just insane. So I wound up going to the interview, and I, didn't really sleep at all, in the ER. And I winded up taking the express train to the city, and I have the, the bandage around my hand, and I go in and in my suit, and I sit down, and Nakia looks at my hand and goes, rough night. And I go, listen, I was bartending last night. That's what I've been doing. And also I work at the grounds crew on the golf course. And I winded up cutting my hand the night before the interview. And she goes, oh my God. And I go, yeah. And you could just tell that she just felt generally just so bad, but also like she kind of see that I was just gung-ho and ready to go. So we ended up talking, and she says, oh wow, I saw you were in Wyoming and you were over here and that, and Hunter told me you guys were at Fox News together for a little bit. And I go, yeah, it was actually a lot of fun, and I saw this opportunity come up, and I really just want you to give me this chance. I go, I'm a really hard worker, and one of the things that I go, I absolutely won't let you down. And it wasn't really an interview, it was more just like a casual just conversation, just about like me, her, and just how we could just make an impact together. And then I think it was maybe 3 days later, I wound up getting a job offer. And I remember I was sitting outside in the early morning with my coffee, and I was smoking a cigarette, and it was so hot. And right before my grounds crew shift, I was like, well, no, because the ground crew's in the morning. I think I was going I got back from the grounds crew, and I was smoking a bogue, and I wound up seeing my phone go off, and it said, Karma, thank you. And I go, oh no, I didn't get the job. And then I read the email, and I wound up getting the job. And she asked me if I could start tomorrow. And I go, I got to get my stitches taken out. How about Monday? She goes, done.
And that Monday, we'll get into that Monday, but I actually still have my email.
I still have mine too.
My Karma email. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see what. I hope mine was just Karma. Thank you. No, mine was Karma Media. Congratulations. So that was much better. That was much better. It says, Will, thank you for your enthusiasm and patience through this process. We are very excited to extend you an offer to work with Karma Media. I have a legal team work this up formally. The offer will be based with approximately 10% performance incentives. This will also include our full standards benefits package and 3 weeks paid time off. And I was just like, yeah, Neil. I was like, I'm never getting rid of this. I'm never getting rid of this email. Actually, thing is though,
I got mine. Wait, can I read you mine?
Yes, please.
Mine was, oh my God, mine was a day after 9/11, September 12th, 2017 at 1:08 p.m.
Literally happens a day after that story I just told that Nakia told me. The next day we hired you. That's hilarious.
The next day you hired me. She goes, hey, good afternoon, Chris. Thank you for your enthusiasm and patience through this process. We're very excited to extend you the offer to work at Karma, having our legal team work up a formal contract and benefits package. Yep.
Etc. And the rest, they say, is history. Now, what was the event